Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, Fauci was referred to, Dr. Fauci, my bad. Fauci was referred to Justice Department for criminal investigation for allegedly lying under oath to Congress. Well, I think in a normal society he would not be referred to the Justice Department. I think maybe his license, practice license, would be revoked by his, I would say, unscientific flip-flops. If you remember, not flip-flops that you walk with, in his medical assessments. Well, if you remember, he said one time that the masks are working, then he said the masks are not working, then he said, well, natural immunity works as good as other things, and he said, no, it doesn't work, you need a vaccine, and things like this. He sounded not like a scientist that he pretends to be, which I don't think he is. He's a politician, he's a weasel, not by aspect only, but by his behavior. So I think this is just a symbolic fact that Fauci was referred. He can be referred, and the Justice Department will not pick the thing and just say, I don't give a damn. That's one thing. The other one, the guy might die in the process, or who knows, we're just going to cover for him, or going to drag it for as long as it needs to be dragged until he dies, and then bye-bye. But I think in a normal society, the first time he made a statement regarding the masks and he flip-flopped, he was out. His credibility is zero. I can't just say, it's the same thing walking barefoot through, a rocky road versus walking with some shoes on. It's not the same thing, obviously, but I can't just say it's okay it's not okay. You can't do that. No, science is still a fixed. I'm not talking about social science. This kind of science, chemistry and physics. It's kind of like a fixed science. It's like how should I put it? Gravitation. It's not debate that if I drop this is going to go here. It's not going to go that way or that way. It's clear about it, and we know why. We don't know exactly other things, but this is clear that if I drop it, it's going to go down there. So the same here is with masks and microscopical, whatever you want to call them. I was about to call them germs, but anyway. So Fauci will be in. I don't even know if it matters. Fauci for me is a disgrace, and unfortunately he's still revered in some circles. And I don't know if is he revered because the people are dumb in those circles, or because they are part of the scheme, or because they have both the group and the Fauci the same interest, all of the above, because you can't just go and say, I'm going to give you Tylenol, and the Tylenol will cure you for, this kind of cancer. And then I say, oh, you know what? Actually, no, it doesn't. Which one is it? What do you mean? So let's read a little bit what these guys are saying from Fox News. So Fauci referred to Justice Department for criminal investigation for allegedly lying under oath to Congress. If they're going to get him with lying under oath, that's it. I think he should have been gone a long time ago, out of the office and all that. Senator Rand Paul, yes, Republican from Kentucky, has referred Dr. Anthony Fauci to the Justice Department for investigation into possible criminal prosecution for allegedly lying under oath to Congress about his knowledge of gain-of-function research conducted at China's Wuhan virus lab. In a letter to District of Columbia U.S. Attorney Matthew Graves, the Kentucky Republican requested that the DOJ investigate whether the former director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, NIAID, which is part of the National Institute of Health, NIH, broke the law with false statements made in Congress testimony under a statute punishable by time in federal prison. And I'm quoting, before Congress, Dr. Fauci denied funding gain of function research to the press. He claimed to have this passionate view on the lab leak hypothesis, and in private he acknowledges gain of function research at WIV, Wuhan Institute of Virology, to his colleagues, Paul said, and I'm quoting, a congressional hearing, however, is not the place for a public servant to play political games, especially when the health of the well-being of American citizens is on the line. For this reason, I request that you investigate whether Dr. Fauci's statements to Congress on May 11, 2021 violate 18 U.S. Code, I'm guessing at 1001, or any other statute, Paul added. So Fauci testified before the Senate Committee on Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions on May 11, 2021, saying that, and I'm quoting, the NIH has not ever and does not fund gain-of-function research in the Wuhan Institute of Virology, end quote. In a subsequent hearing, Paul, and I'm quoting, warned Dr. Fauci of criminal implications of lying to Congress and offered him an opportunity to recant his previous statements, end quote, the senator noted in the letter. And I'm quoting, in response, Dr. Fauci stated that he had never lied before the Congress and did not retract the statement. Paul wrote, the Kentucky senator said Fauci's testimony is inconsistent with emails that have since come to light that show Fauci knew of gain-of-function research in early 2020. So, I watched all, this is the a letter, it seems like, by Rand Paul, and that's it. I'm not going to go deeper into this because I think he was guilty the first time he said that the masks are not working, and said they work, and then he talked about the natural immunity to the virus, which then he said yes, then he said no, then he said yes, he said no. He played ping pong. Now, I watched this interactions between Rand Paul and Fauci, and I gotta tell you that I felt like smacking Fauci right there and then. But anyway, Rand Paul was a gentleman and obviously could not do that, and I'm glad he didn't. But I don't know, I would have seen a fight between Rand Paul and Fauci, the same level. Nevertheless, my friends, I watched those interactions, and Fauci was like a biatch. And what was interesting, I was watching those, and then the next day the media said Fauci told Rand Paul, Fauci wiped the floor with Rand Paul. Rand Paul was, destroyed by Fauci. And I was thinking, wasn't that the same thing I watched actually? That these guys, and that was pointed out by then President Trump when he said about the fake news and media and all that. He said, I've been in some meetings where media was over there. I was present. I was part of those. And I was reading the next day in newspaper something, like column or whatever, saying certain things that did not happen. I said, how in the hell I was there? And these guys write something else. That's why the mainstream mass media right now is angry with this, and with the ability of telephones recording, and you have it live. So the mass media tells you, oh, those guys, the Catholic school guys attacked an elderly, boom, 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 just minding his own business in front of, Lincoln Memorial, and they attacked him, and they blah, 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 blah. And then we see they say all that, and then you see the video when the elder comes and boo, 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 are you going to do something? Are you going to do something? And the guy is looking at him like, oh my God, that's a smirk over there. Oh my God, that's so insulting to the Native American drummer, elderly. And then when you saw the video, we're like, what? That's not what this guy said. Anyway, so, and if you've been involved in certain events yourself, you know how these guys are twisting things. So the same with Fauci. Fauci is a politician, and unfortunately he thought that he has more power to suggest certain things, and unfortunately he can suggest certain things. The problem is, and he's the other one, chief of CDC, that now she quit and she went back to another job of a professorship or somewhere. Oh my God, another one. Anyway, that was with Fauci. Fauci would have been in a normal society discarded the first time. Hey, you lied, out. How did you lie? You say they work, you don't work, here work. What are you talking about? A virologist. He's not a virologist. I think he's a politician. He's a manager of an institution. It's like, for instance, when you see the principals. Let's say I'm a teacher, a history teacher, and I become the principal of a school, a high school. I'm not a history teacher anymore. I'm not an expert in history. I'm an expert in managing the school. I'm the principal. Kids don't come over there for me, or teenagers, students, to ask me about an event in history. I'm going to tell them, make a dissertation right there in front of them. No, my job is to speak with the parents, speak with the organizations, speak with the cities, speak with this, and then all that. That's my job. I'm not a teacher. And remember, without offending anybody, if you are the principal of the school, it doesn't mean at all that you are good at your teaching career, okay? You're a manager. You choose to be a manager instead of being an educator. So that tells something. I mean, if you're a soccer player and you like to, draw lines in the pitch, it doesn't mean that you're a soccer player. You're just a guy who likes to draw the lines of the field. That's all. Okay, so once you're a manager, you're a manager. You're not a teacher anymore. And if you choose that means you're either not good at the other one or you didn't like it. Usually what you don't like, you're not good at. All right. So usually, I'm not good at math, but I hate math. Why do you hate math? Because you're not good at it. How do you not good at it? Maybe you don't like it. It's like a vicious circle. Once you know something, you start liking it, most likely. And if you like something, you're going to be good at it. So anyway, Dr. Fauci. In a normal society, Dr. Fauci would have been tarred, feathered, and kicked out of the town. But we don't live those days anymore because our freedoms and liberties are just like this. So yeah, land of the free and fuck off the brave. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.